I had to make some serious life changes since having my second baby. I was feeling overwhelmed with my never ending to do list and unrealistic expectations of what my life was going to look like. I wanted to be a more present mom who wasn't worried about things that truly aren't important in life. I wanted a slower and more intentional life. If that sounds anything like you, this video was created for other women going through the same struggles that I was. Today I'm sharing 24 things I've quit, and some might surprise you, to have more space for peace, joy, and simplicity in my life. The first thing I decided to quit was social media. That probably doesn't come as much of a surprise to you because I really feel like there is a movement to get away from living life online. As ironic as that is, as being here on YouTube, I feel like this is completely different from how people might use Instagram and TikTok. So really what I've quit is Instagram. I have quit defaulting to purchase everything new, so I try and practice delayed gratification by thrifting or looking on Facebook Marketplace. You'll probably hear baby noises, by the way, and that is my son that is having some floor time right next to me. I've made the effort to not buy things on clearance because I feel like that feeds into my desire of buying something just because of the low price point. I stopped taking pictures and videos of everything, and I still take plenty of pictures and videos of everything, but I have slowed down and really tried to cherish those moments of just appreciating them in real time and not reaching for my phone all the time. This is easier said than done, but comparing myself to others, I think being a wife and mom, we always have opportunity to compare ourselves to others. And I think sometimes just sitting and realizing that we all have our strengths and weaknesses really takes time, but it is totally worth it once you realize that you are uniquely you. I am no longer wearing makeup every day. Today I am, but trust me, I would say at least 4 days out of the week I am not wearing any makeup. I am no longer buying everything in bulk from Costco, and this is hard because we are programmed to think that it is actually cheaper to just buy everything in bulk from Costco or other membership clubs like that, but actually the space that it takes up in your house, I think, can actually just negate all of the benefits of saving money. So I would rather have my space be a little bit more clutter-free and pay more in the long run if it gives me more peace of mind during the day-to-day. I stopped keeping things just in case in the efforts of just having a more minimal and clutter-free home. I stopped saving things for the perfect time, so instead now if it's appropriate to use something more special or something I have a limited quantity on, I'd rather just use it in that moment. Otherwise, that perfect time may never actually come. I stopped using physical notebooks. I find that they actually are really hard to keep track of wherever I'm writing something. So I'm trying to lean more on my digital notebooks and the notes app on my phone so I can quickly search an item and find what I'm looking for. I stopped shopping without a list. This not only helps keep my spending low, but I am also controlling the things that I bring into my home. This will surprise you, but I actually stopped using my Nespresso machine. If you personally know me or have followed some of my content, I loved making my fancy lattes with my Nespresso, but I've quit that. I quit buying things that I could just make at home. So whether that is chopped frozen veggies, bread, even some of my favorite dishes from restaurants, I just learned how to make it, and this encourages me to sit down, find some recipes, and actually make more things from scratch, which I have actually really loved. I stopped going into stores to shop for things that I need, so I've actually tried using some of their pickup features from Target and Walmart, and this has made life so much easier, especially as a mom of 2 under 2. I stopped selling everything that I'm decluttering. You might be incentivized because you're thinking, well, I paid money for this, I want to get some of my money back. But sometimes you just end up holding on to things for much longer than you really should, instead of just being generous and giving it to others who might need it, or donating it to a charity shop that you support, and it's just out of your way and you can just move on with your life. I quit being strict with my parenting. I'm allowing myself a lot more grace and flexibility because that just brings me more peace and joy into my life. I stopped wanting variety as much. If you know me, I love having just choices because I can be very indecisive. So my philosophy for a long time has been, I like variety, I like choices. But honestly, sometimes it's just nice to reach for one thing in one category, and that's the only choice that you have. Otherwise, you just have more mental fatigue for making decisions all the time, and it's just something that literally just simplifies your life. I stopped having unrealistic expectations for parenting and my marriage, and I'll actually talk more about this at the very end. But I seriously feel like we just have to have more grace for ourselves and the season of life that we are in, and just not overthink every single little thing that we do is going to change the outcome of the rest of our lives. I stopped homemaking without any structure. Now, I do have plenty of flexibility, but creating routines actually makes me have a slower day because I don't have as much rigid expectations of what my day is going to look like. So taking things hour by hour sometimes and just going with the flow really helps me slow down and just appreciate the day to day instead of stressing because I didn't get to every single thing on my to-do list, which is completely unrealistic anyway. I stopped filling up my environment with things. I'm really trying to embrace a more minimalistic outlook, but also not boxing myself into what you would probably see as complete minimalism of not having anything on your wall. I still buy things that bring me joy, but I don't feel the need to go above and beyond and get every single thing that I find cute or feel like I need. I stopped accepting every invitation, or at least feeling obligated to accept every invitation. I think we underestimate how much value we have in just saying no, and the peace that you get from doing things that you actually want to do, even if that means staying at home. This has actually changed my life. I stopped keeping things out of guilt. And this goes into so much of the decluttering philosophy that I've picked up through the years of trying to be a minimalist, but also just understanding that things don't always have meaning if we don't assign them meaning. When I decide to let go of something that I've been holding onto out of guilt, I feel a physical weight being lifted off me, and I can't begin to express how much relief I get and sense of freedom. So if there is something that you've been holding onto out of guilt, no matter if you paid for it or someone special gave it to you, I encourage you to just get rid of it, and you'll feel exactly what I'm talking about, and hopefully that will give you confidence to continue decluttering other things that you've kept out of guilt. This last thing is probably the most important thing that has changed my outlook on life. I've quit not acknowledging the season of life that I'm in, and by this I mean I am currently a mom of 2 under 2, and there is just so much weight and expectations that we try to keep up with other people that are not in the season of our life. So not acknowledging the season of life that I'm in is something that has completely changed my life. And I think when we just come to peace that we can't go to every single outing and we can't buy everything that the next person buys because they don't have children or their children are older and they're able to go do this and that, and they don't have nap times to schedule things around. Letting go of that creates this peace that I have really enjoyed, and it's almost addicting, where it's not that I'm making excuses, but it just creates a lot more freedom and less stress when I just acknowledge this is just the season of life that I'm in, and I just can't do that, or I can't afford it. And it just makes life easier when you don't have to try and come up with reasons or ways to do the things that you just can't do in this season of life, if that makes sense. What's one thing that you're considering quitting to simplify your life? Or what's one thing that you recently quit that has severely impacted your life for the better? I would love to know. I am so inspired by what you have to share, so please leave that in a comment down below. My name is Daisy. I am a homemaker and stay-at-home mom to 2 boys, and I'm just here to help you find joy in the mundane aspects of homemaking and motherhood. So if you want more encouragement, please subscribe, and please check out this video that YouTube is suggesting down below, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.